Hello, 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 family. This is R.C. Blakes, and I am so thoroughly excited. I'm excited because Queenology 2024 is coming back to Atlanta, Georgia, August the 23rd through the 25th. The host hotel is going to be the Whitley Hotel. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Women are literally coming from around the world. It is a multicultural, multi-generational, multiracial movement of women from around the world. And I want to invite you and yours to meet Lisa and I in Atlanta, Georgia at the Whitley Hotel, August the 23rd through the 25th for Queenology. For those that have the Royal Court package, it will afford you your entire stay for the weekend. It will also afford you a private, formal dinner with Lisa and I to open Queenology up. It also affords you admission to every event, everything that's happening for the entire weekend. Now, we also have the Saturday brunch and intensive package, which allows you to get into the brunch where Lisa and I will be sharing the messages that God has given us for 2024 to share with the ladies. This year, I'll have my own message, and Lisa will also have her very own message. It's going to be powerful. During the Saturday brunch and intensive, we're also going to have a very distinguished panel of men that are going to sit before the queens and answer the questions that women have always wanted to ask men. It's going to be amazing. Now, also those that are part of the VIP experience, there will be a time where Lisa and the ladies will gather in what they call, I think, the pajama party. And it will be a time where women will have conversation among women. I'm really excited about the culmination of Queenology this year because none other than the incomparable Dave Hollister is coming to be a part of our closing event, the all-white party. He's going to sing the Queenology theme song as well as entertain the ladies, the queens, for that evening. Queenology 2024 promises to be like none other. Those of you that want information, if you desire to be a vendor, queenology.net. Those of you that may need payment plans, queenology.net. Let nothing stop you from making your way to Queenology 2024 in Atlanta, Georgia this year. Tickets are going very quickly. I would love for you to meet us in Atlanta, August the 23rd through the 25th. Queens from around the world are coming. Queens from around the world are rising. It is going to be a coronation. It is going to be a crowning. Well, hello, 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 hello. This is R.C. Blakes, and I want to welcome you back to another Monday night edition of Let's Talk with R.C. Blakes. I'm praying that you are thrilled about life and the way things are unfolding, even the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of these things are working together for your good. I need you to say with me right now, my life is amazing. You know, because even if you're looking at something right now that may not be ideal, It's changing. It did not come to stay. It has come to pass. Your life is amazing. And I hope that our time together today lifts your spirit if you're in such a place right now mentally. Invite some others to come in and to be a part of this conversation because we're kind of moving into a queenology kind of focus today. I want to talk about mental toughness, or how should I put this? The mental toughness of a queen conscious woman. There it is. The mental toughness of a queen conscious woman. I remember years ago, my mentor, Apostle Dr. Ivy Hilliard, wrote a book that I think is a classic, and it was entitled, or is entitled, Mental Toughness for Success. And in that book, it enlightened me as a Christian because it made me aware for the first time that my mental position, my mental condition, my mental posture is as important as my spiritual condition or posture. Because if I have the right spiritual posture, but I yet possess the wrong mental posture, I will always lose. And so there's a mental toughness that I want to deal with today that relates to women specifically, because this is absolutely the wrong world for a woman to be weak-minded. You know, when you think about how the Bible says that the woman is the weaker vessel, you have to really think deeply about that, because women are not necessarily mentally or emotionally weaker, not even necessarily mentally weaker in a lot of cases, because it takes a lot to be a woman. It takes a lot to be a mother. It takes a lot of strength to be a wife, right? But women are put in a position in this world where you're physically weaker, where in most structures politically, organizationally, you are weaker because you lack the power to many times write your own ticket, because there are some intimidated men that stand between you and what you rightfully deserve. And so this is a world that is not most of the time fair for or to women. And if a woman shows up strong in this world, she many days has a struggle to get what's due her. Now, what happens to a woman that shows up weak? A mentally weak woman. You know, I think it's the difference between, the Bible talks about in Romans, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by, here it is, the renewing of your mind or your mindset. Your transformation is coming by way of the positioning of your mindset. If your mindset is not right, he's saying you will be conformed. You know what that means? That means you will be squeezed into a miniature version of yourself. If you do not do the work as a woman, well, I'm talking to women, but this applies to all. But if you do not do the work mentally as a woman to make certain that you are mentally tough, the world will squeeze you into a miniature version of yourself to the point you will no longer recognize yourself. Now, when we think about, when I think about the world, where women have to strive. It's a world where challenges and obstacles are always inevitable. Mental toughness stands as a beacon of strength and resilience when you're mentally tough. A mentally tough woman embodies a unique blend of characteristics that enable her to navigate life's unique complexities with grace and determination, because your challenges as a woman will be different than mine would be as a man in a lot of cases. There are situations that I can walk into as a man and will never be challenged simply because I'm a man. And there are situations where you may be 10 times more qualified, fit, and able than I am, but because you're a woman, you will be challenged. Mental toughness is a necessity. She is not devoid of emotions. That's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the woman that walks around with a scowl on her face and walks around, stomping like she's a dude and trying to prove to everybody that I'm tough. No. She's not devoid of emotions, but rather she chooses to respond to situations with a balanced approach, leveraging logic over fleeting emotions. Let's explore, if you don't mind tonight, let's explore this concept of the mentally tough, or the queen conscious mentally tough woman, however I said it. But I was thinking about just some examples of women in scripture. You have Job's wife that I think, for the little bit we know of Job's wife, to be fair, but the little part we do know of her, when Job got into a testing or trial situation, the first thing his wife says to him is, "You ought to curse God and die." Mentally weak. But then you have in the Bible the wife of a prophet. The prophet died and he left his family in debt. They wanted to take his sons and make them slaves to pay off the debt. And this woman rolled up her sleeves, got counsel, got active, went to work, put her boys to work, employed a plan, and she bailed her family out financially, even though she was in widowed status. Mentally tough. Now, I was thinking about this, and I did not exhaust my thoughts on what does a mentally weak woman look like. There are just three things that I had a chance to jot down, and the first is she has rapid emotional swings. When you are a mentally weak woman, you will always experience rapid emotional swings. You'll go from, really high to really low very fast. Mentally weak. You'll go from great faith to great despair very quickly. Mentally weak. Now, that's not to say that we as men don't do that, because we absolutely do. I've had my days where I was just swinging from one emotion to the next. But if we characterize a woman or a person as a mentally weak person, this is not the product of a certain moment in this woman's life. This is the way she lives her life every day. She has no foundation. Letter B I listed, she's constantly striving for acceptance. Every circle you put her in, she is striving to be accepted. She's striving to be liked. She want it. It hurts her. It breaks her if people say something negative about her. She wants to be liked. She wants to be on social media, but as soon as some of the kind of people that are on social media. I almost said something, but it wouldn't have been man of God like, so I didn't say it. But as soon as these kinds of people say the things that they say, there she is. She's broken up for days about the words typed from people she doesn't even know. She's mentally weak because she's constantly striving for acceptance. Letter C, I wrote, she sacrifices her virtue for promises and hopes. She's not going to she's not going to verify. She's not going to verify first. She's going to trust and then verify. And it's not until after she discovers that what she was dealing with is not trustworthy, then she wants to verify. She's mentally weak. Now, don't misunderstand me now. When I say mentally weak, I'm not saying that she's lacking intellectually, because some of the some of the most mentally weak women are quite often some of the most educated. Man, ask me how I know. I deal with women all the time. And you'd be amazed that, now, hey, I'm not going to say it can't happen, because it can, but you'd be amazed at how many. I make the statement all the time. How is it that a PhD woman is manipulated by a GED man? And that has nothing to do with educational status, but it has everything to do with how a woman that has worked to be at a certain place or status in life is so easily manipulated by a man that has no fruit on the vine, who has clearly done nothing with his life but use people. Now, that's just a saying, but I have a very real experience presently where, there's a person that is a very high six-figure professional, a woman, has a job that you have to go to school for a lot of years, and you have to pass a lot of tests to work in this particular field. Come on now. And is being manipulated by a criminal. Being manipulated by a criminal. And so, how am I supposed to address that when you're asking me for advice or counsel? Come on now. You're mentally weak. You got all of this education, but you don't have common sense. And you have a criminal, not even a wealthy criminal. At least if you're going to get a criminal, get one that got some money. You got a broke criminal that's managing you, sis, because you're mentally weak. Ooh, Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Praise God. I had to call on him because I need him right now. Markers of mentally tough women. Now, I don't have these in any particular order, so don't look for, these to be sequential in terms of one thing building on the other. No, I just kind of jotted them down, and I'm giving them to you as I jotted them. Number one, a mentally tough woman, markers of a mentally tough woman. A mentally tough woman vents sooner. She vents sooner. A mentally tough woman understands the importance of expressing her feelings and concerns in a healthy manner. Instead of bottling up emotions, she addresses them promptly and properly, allowing herself to process and move forward effectively. You know, as a woman, that you're mentally tough when something bothers you and you find a way to communicate it before you get upset, before you get heated, before you get hurt or broken. A woman that is mentally weak will quite often bottle her rather than venting what she's feeling in a proper, prompt fashion. She will bottle it up until it destroys her from the inside, or she bottles it up until it creates a version of her she never knew. This is when you have women pouring gasoline on the hood and striking matches and blowing up cars in the apartment parking lot, intending to blow his up and blows up 10, 15 others because she did not vent sooner. And when you are mentally tough, I think one of your focuses is not only as a woman, but as a person. One of your focuses is that you're not going to allow anything to sit in you that can turn into toxicity. And so if something bothers you, you may say, what you just said, with a smile, I don't feel good about that. I'd rather you not say that. Please don't ever say that again. And you while you're venting what you're feeling, you're also getting a chance to assess who you're dealing with. Because if a person can't handle your truth and your honesty, they don't deserve a seat at your table. But mentally tough women vent sooner than later. What would prevent a woman from venting what she's really feeling? If she's mentally weak, she's probably more afraid of telling her or speaking her truth and losing someone. She's not so concerned about the possibility of losing herself if she does not speak her truth. The woman that is mentally tough is more concerned with venting what she's feeling, what she's thinking, and hearing what the other person has to say to see if her feelings were on point or not, and to see if the person is mature or has enough capacity to actually be a part of her life. But mentally tough women vent sooner than later. I love what the Bible says in Ephesians 4:26, where it reads like this: "Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your anger." I think the King James says wrath. I love it. I love this because what is it teaching us in terms of principle? It's teaching us that we can feel a certain thing and we don't have to allow that feeling to take us out of character. When he says, be angry and do not sin. In other words, you can feel a thing to the point that you're even angry, but it doesn't mean that you have to get out of character and you have to get off the rails. He says, be angry and do not sin. The B part of the verse says, do not let the sun go down on your anger, or wrath again, as the King James says. And I love this text because it's saying to us, you got to find a way to vent whatever you're feeling sooner than later. Try to get it done before the sun goes down. You know how many relationships have been destroyed over imaginations that were based in something that someone felt initially but did not express, and they allowed that thing to sit there, and that thing turned into one crazy thought into another, after another. And it wasn't until the relationship was completely destroyed that maybe they got a chance to get back to the root of where all of this started, and then to discover that it could have been resolved in the moment had somebody simply vented. Mentally tough women vent because they don't have time to tolerate toxic emotions that just run like a loop in the soul. Like the biblical character Hannah, who poured her soul out before the Lord in 1 Samuel 1:15 when she was deeply distressed. A mentally tough woman doesn't hold in her pain but seeks healthy outlets for her emotions. Number two, I got to move quickly. I have a lot and my time is flying. Mentally tough women speak less. Mentally tough women, mentally resilient women speak less. Choosing words wisely is a hallmark of mental toughness for men and women. And mentally tough people in general do not speak a lot, especially not in environments where they don't really know who they're dealing with. A mentally tough woman understands the power of silence. You know, like I look at some of you, many of you influencers, female influencers on social media, and you just say everything, you know, and anybody that really knows, we know that all that bravado you got is a cover up. You know, when you really all of that, you ain't got to be opening your mouth saying all of that stuff y'all be saying, man. It's like you're trying to get shock value, you know, for what? You know, you're making yourself look ridiculous because a mentally tough woman, a mentally tough person reserves their words. They don't just get on the thing, turn the camera on, say anything come to their mind. Man, that's weak. A mentally tough woman understands the power of silence and listens attentively before responding. You know how many things come to my mind while I'm sitting in front of this camera that I never say? Sometimes some of it slips out. I mean, we all are human, right? But 98% of it never comes out because as I ponder it in my mind and I think about it, it could be very easily misunderstood. It could hurt some people. It could misrepresent me. And so I don't say everything because mentally tough people speak less, especially the mentally tough woman. She values meaningful communication over unnecessary chatter. Some of y'all you just want to chatter. You just want to turn the camera on and you want to chatter. Just running your mouth and you thinking it's making you look like you all of this, and anybody that's really there, we can see that you're struggling between your ears. Because let me tell you why mentally tough people speak less, especially mentally tough women. Speech, whenever I'm speaking, speech is access to one's heart. While I'm speaking, I'm opening the door to my heart. You are having the opportunity to listen to what I'm saying, and you're having the opportunity to analyze my intellectual level. If you listen carefully with the right ears, you can hear my emotional level. A person that really learns to listen can learn so much from a person that's always talking, because speech is access to the heart, but listening is assessment of others. When you're listening, you're assessing others. When you're talking, they are assessing you, which is why game is more easily run on women than men. It's because women talk entirely too much when they are mentally weak. When no one's taught you and you lack understanding and knowledge about how the game of life is played, you run off at your mouth as a woman, because women, for some reason, you just love to talk. And you don't realize while you're speaking, you are giving access to your soul. The Bible puts it this way in Proverbs 29:11. A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards. Some things you ain't supposed to say on the camera, even if you feel it, even if you think it. You're saying these things to try to impress people, but you're not impressing anybody. You're like a shark, or you're like a person bleeding in the ocean. You are attracting the sharks because anybody that knows, their antennas go up. Here's a weak woman. Here, weak women talk too much. Weak women talk too much. Mentally strong women do not run their mouths like that. So mentally tough women do not speak from emotion because talking too much is weakness. Mentally tough women discern who is in the room. There are things I'm going to say in the room with Lisa, I'll say before nobody else in the world. My children won't hear it. My mother won't hear it. My brother won't hear it. Nobody else in the world. I will say things in the room with Lisa nobody else in the world will hear. There are things I will say in the room with my brother nobody else in the world will hear. Come on, somebody. You gotta learn. Okay, let's move on because my time is gone and I got a lot. A mentally tough woman, markers of mentally tough queen conscious women. She lets go faster. And I don't mean to be cynical here. I'm not saying every relationship you get in, as soon as somebody proves to be human, you let them go. No, that's not what I'm talking about. No. What I'm saying is weak women hold on for delusional hopes. But a mentally tough woman, she knows when to fold them. She knows when she's gone her distance. She knows when a person is proven not to be a viable candidate for her life's future. And so rather than holding on to hope and wishes and prayers, mentally tough women let go sooner. Embracing change and adapting swiftly to new situations is a key trait of mental toughness. A mentally tough woman is agile in her responses, allowing herself to let go of what no longer serves her and embraces growth. In other words, she's not letting it go and sinking into a pit. Oh, it's over for me. No. She's letting this go because she realizes in her soul and spirit that once I let this go, greater is on the horizon. I love what Deuteronomy 30 and 19 says. He says, I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life that both thou and thy seed may live. I've what set before you? Death and life. Choose life. You see, let me tell you something. When you choose to hold on to something that's killing you, you've made a choice. You've chosen death. When you choose to hold on to somebody that has done nothing but irreparable, emotional, spiritual, financial, professional, and the list goes on, damage to you, you are no longer a victim. You are now a volunteer. Mentally tough women learn to choose life sooner than later. They will let go of anything that does not serve them quickly. She lets go when a relationship is when she sees a relationship changing her. She will let it go before she allows that thing to sink into her soul and redefine how she sees herself. She will release that thing, cry a tear, and keep it moving. Number 4, mentally tough women choose logic over emotion. While emotions are essential and powerful and positive, a mentally tough woman knows when to rely on logic to make decisions. By balancing emotions with rational thinking, She can approach challenges with a clear and strategic mindset. You know, like let me give you a real great example right here. For those of you that are single mothers of sons. Well, one of the biggest problems that single mothers of sons make is that you parent your son for 18 years out of your emotions. And then you wonder why you can't get him off of your couch to go to school or to go get a job. It's because you parented him out of your emotions. You can't raise a man off of emotions, because while females have a greater propensity, for emotional, what's the word I'm looking for? Frequency. Men do not. Men have a greater propensity towards things that are logical. And so that's why we're yin yang. That's why we balance one another. So if you have a son as a single mother, though it is your first nature to parent him emotionally, you cannot raise a man, and you're not raising a boy, or you're supposed to be raising a man, but you may very well be raising a boy. And if you're raising a boy, he'll be a boy at 18, he'll be a boy at 28, he'll be a boy at 38, and he'll always need the kind of attention that boys need. But the wise single mother, she parents her boy logically. And there are times that, she'll be mom and she'll be emotional, but then there are times that she'll be intentional. She'll be what's the word I'm looking for? She'll correct with a stern hand. She will give him responsibility and demand he follows through. She will put him in settings like sports or what have you. And though he'll come home crying, but they mean to me, she won't take him out, because logically she understands, I'm not raising a boy, I'm raising a man. Well, mentally tough women know how to separate their emotions from their logic. So a mentally tough woman can go to a job where people don't like her and never make a scene. She can walk into an office and she can say good morning to people that absolutely hate her, and she can continue to get her job done because logically she understands, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make dollars. And you don't have to love me for me to succeed. Come on, somebody. But that's when a woman is mentally tough. See, when a woman is not mentally tough, she'll go and she'll destroy a great career over somebody on the other side of the building that put a ridiculous post on some social media platform. She'll go make a whole scene over that because she doesn't know how to separate emotions from logic. Proverbs 2:6-7 says, for the Lord gives wisdom, out of his mouth cometh knowledge and understanding. He layeth up sound wisdom for the righteous. He is a buckler to them that walk uprightly. Now, here's what I think is a great example of a woman overcoming, emotion with logic, and that's Queen Esther. Go and read the full story and how she saved her people, the Hebrews. But in Esther 4:16-17, she's making a logical decision here. She's about to put her life on the line for her whole people. And so she's giving out instruction, and she says, go gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days. Y'all pray for me and fast now, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise. And we fast to get understanding or wisdom or clarity. It says, I will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish. So Mordecai went his way and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. She had gotten beyond the emotion. She said, if I perish, I perish. But logically, I got to do this. I'm the only one that can do this. So I got to do what I got to do. And mentally tough women choose logic over emotions. Let me add this to it. When necessary. Sometimes it's cool to relax in your emotions. But there are times and seasons that you got to choose logic
over emotion. A mentally weak woman does not know the difference, nor does she have the fortitude to be logical over being emotional. Mentally weak women are usually overdosed on emotionalism. Number 5, and again, I told you these things are in no particular order. Mentally tough women vet first. They vet first. Mentally weak women vet afterwards. So you let a man into your life. You give him sex around the clock. You give him a couple of babies without ever getting a ring or even a promise that there's a future here. And then it's after he's squandered all of your youth or a great portion of it, and he's left you for somebody else, that now you have the revelation he was a narcissist, he was a sociopath, he was even a psychopath. But it took you 15, 20 years to figure this out. Don't tell nobody that. Don't tell nobody else that. Yeah, just thinking about it. Don't tell nobody else that. Because you should have known. See, a mentally tough woman is going to know something ain't right about this dude about the second date. You know why? Because mentally tough women are going to ask questions for the purpose of vetting. Weak-minded women are on dates for giggles and want to see if he's sexually attracted to me. A mentally tough woman understands that she's interviewing this brother. And so she's asking questions that's getting to stuff he doesn't even realize he's exposing, because she's vetting him. Mentally tough women vet first. Mentally weak women vet later when it doesn't matter. This is why 1 John 4:1 says, "Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits whether they are of God, because many false prophets are gone out into the world." It says you ought to try. Don't believe nothing, nobody for face value. Proverbs 14:15 says, "The simple believe anything, but the prudent give thought to their steps." John 7:24 in the New International Version reads like this: "Stop judging by mere appearances, but instead judge correctly." Because mentally tough women vet first. A mentally tough woman takes the time to assess situations, assess people, and even opportunities before committing herself fully to anything. And it is this discernment or discretion even that helps her maintain boundaries and protect her mental health. Because she vets first. Number 6. A mentally tough woman accepts that life is joy and pain. She's not, she's not thrown into a 7-day depression because life starts to life in. She accepts, she understands, and she accepts that life is joy and pain. Understanding the duality of life is central to mental toughness. A mentally tough woman embraces both joyous moments and painful experiences as essential parts of her growth journey. And she learns from each situation, finding strength even in adversity. Mentally tough people do not wear their struggles on their shoulders. So it means that a mentally tough person can still show up and do their job, treat everybody properly, never change their demeanor, can come home and nurture the family, love on the husband, while still having things that are not exactly perfect in her or his life, because they're mentally tough. You learn, mentally tough people learn to compartmentalize. So watch this. When you're mentally weak, you'll have somebody treating you crazy at the job, and rather than just saying, okay, I'm gonna go to HR and we're gonna deal with this, you internalize that. You still go to HR, but you internalize that. It changes only your posture, your demeanor, the way you feel. And then you bring all of that, you bring all of that to your family. Now your family trying to figure out what's going on with you. Your husband looking at you. Now you got mad with him because he hasn't asked you because you're seeking sympathy now. Rather than just accepting the fact that life is filled with joy and pain, and we all got to deal with a little bit, sometimes a whole lot of both. It's called life. It's a blessing to be here to experience it, actually. Philippians 4:11-13 reads like this: Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned, here it is, in whatsoever state I am, joy or pain, therewith to be content. I know both how to be abased or made low, and I know how to abound. Everywhere and in all things I am instructed, both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. So the mentally tough woman, she accepts that life is about joy and pain. Every day is not going to be sunshine for me. Flowers can't grow but for sunshine and rain. So for the mentally tough woman, she does not wish for, nor does she pray for life to be easier. She strives to get better. Come on now. I'm preaching better than y'all shouting. Number 7, the mentally tough woman does not dramatize circumstances. She's not a drama queen. Mentally tough women are not drama queens. In fact, mentally tough women abhor women that are drama queens because it's a reflection on womanhood. When women are drama queens, you kind of feed into the lie or the narrative. You fuel the narrative that, a woman is nothing but emotional. And if we buy into that narrative that a woman is nothing but emotional, we discount her intellectual value, her spiritual value, her leadership capabilities. And this is how the world has kept thumbs down on women relative to leadership. The world says, she's purely emotional. A woman is too dramatic to be in serious places of power. We can't make her the president of the United States of America. She might push that button. And all of us know that these things are not true. Proverbs 14:29 says, whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. When you just carried away by impulses, in other words, that's what a weak-minded woman is. She's just carried away by impulses, and she dramatizes everything. She makes a scene about everything. Philippians 4:6-7 gives us this instruction: do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. When a woman is mentally tough, she cannot be mentally tough without being, well, let's put it this way: she cannot be wholly or completely mentally tough without really having a divine connection to God. Because there's a point that our toughness runs out and his kicks in. Number 8, a mentally tough woman only chooses friends that will confront her, correct her, and elevate her. Mentally tough women are not running with, they're not running with these women that just do anything and co-sign anything. You see a mentally tough woman, a woman that's queen conscious and about her business, really, God's business, the business of her family, the business of her bag. You check her friends out. She ain't got no little shaky group of friends. Everywhere they go, they got to be naked. And I guess y'all say y'all get tired of hearing me say that, but see, I'm looking at this as a father, and I understand the damage that you're doing to yourself running around it. Okay, let me leave that alone. I'm not gonna chase that. Let me leave that alone. She only chooses friends that confront, correct, and elevate her. Proverbs 27:17 says, iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. She can't afford to have yes girls as friends. She can't afford to have friends that are afraid to confront her. She has to have friends that are her equal. And she has to have friends that empower her, that elevate her, that bring her to the next level. Because she's mentally tough. And she stays that way by surrounding herself with like-minded women. And watch this. When her reserves run out, her friends will always kick in. Proverbs 27:6 says, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. In other words, people that are really your friend, or people that are your friends, are not people that are stroking you. Sometimes they're hurting you for your own good. Mentally tough women surround themselves with women that shoot straight and tell them the truth. She demands of her friends, you must tell me the truth at all times. And then number 9, and I'm done. A mentally tough woman never allows her purpose, value, or happiness to be defined by outside factors. The Bible says, in him, the Creator, we live, move, and have our being. Not in you, not in y'all, not in them, in him. A woman that will stay mentally tough will never allow herself to settle for the idea that a relationship with a man makes her valuable, that her relational status with any particular sorority gives her happiness. And I ain't get at y'all with your sororities. Do your thing. I'm just saying, a mentally tough woman is not seeking out sororities to give her a sense of importance or happiness. She's not defined by these things. She's not defined by labels in clothing. Her sense of value, her happiness, her self-definition comes from within by way of the Creator. So when you have a mentally tough woman and her marriage fails, she'll cry a tear too, but she ain't gonna fall apart. And she'll never let you see it. She'll never be out. She ain't gonna get all on the social media, on the Facebook, typing all of this stuff. She's not gonna be trying to shoot the man down and all of this. She's not gonna be trying to keep his children from him unless he's a danger to the kids, because she never sought him out for a sense of definition, value, or happiness. Mentally tough women find that from within. Those things are too important for me to leave in anybody's hands. There's a reason God put my heart inside of my chest, surrounded it with a rib cage. There's a reason my lungs and my liver, all of my vitals, kidneys, wrapped up on the inside of me for nobody to tamper with. Why? These things are too important for anybody to be able to put their hands on. Oh, you can walk up and feel my, but please don't do it. COVID is out here. But I'm just giving you an example. You can walk up, feel a person's beard, you can rub their hair, you can rub their skin, you can look at their nails, play with their hands. But the things that are essential to life are hidden away. And a mentally tough woman does not take the things that are essential to her life and expect you or him or them or that to be the provider of it. She finds that within herself. In fact, about it, she doesn't even want a relationship until she's clear on the fact that she owns her happiness. She owns her fulfillment. She owns her own self-esteem. She and the Creator determine her value. Weak-minded women, just about every move they make is to find an external sense of value, an external source of happiness, an external idea of definition. This is why. So my prayer today is that I have said something that has hopefully stirred something in you as a woman. That's my prayer. And my prayer is that you will begin this journey of queen consciousness that will bring you to a place of strong-mindedness. Because it's necessary. Hope you got something out of this today. Now listen, don't forget, we're going to play your song, the Queenology theme song, at the tail end of tonight's conversation. But don't forget to go to rcblakes.com, sign up for the mailing list, and while you're there, look at online programs. And I want you specifically, I've just really been stirred to promote this. I want you to look for Transcending the Father Wound. There are many of you whose fathers were not in your lives, and you don't realize how that impacted you. Because the grace of God, your father, your real father. See, biological fathers are resources, but your heavenly Father is the source. He kept you. He brought you through. But even when the resource father is out of place, a lot of times we don't realize, especially when you've succeeded in life, you don't realize how it's impacted you. And then some of you do realize that online program, 5 sessions taught by me, each session is around an hour, a little better. That program is changing lives all across the United States of America and even in foreign countries. Transcending the Father Wound. Go and search for that in online programs. Don't forget to go to Amazon, pick up all of my books. What else am I trying to say? Thanks to all of you who have sown into our lives. Lisa and I take it very seriously. Your super chats and all, whatever these things are called, we love you for it. We don't take it lightly at all. You don't have to do it. We don't take it lightly. Hey, see you all in June in Egypt. Lisa and I are looking forward to meeting the family in Egypt in the month of June. And looking forward to seeing everybody in Atlanta for Queenology in August. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Now, I know I'm missing something like I always do, but hey, you're on top. Don't you dare leave out of here without liking and sharing this message. I need y'all to help me. This algorithm is working against me these days. I need you all to help me to make certain that this message gets to more people. And you do that by liking and sharing. But in the meantime, you're on top. You're going higher. God has more in store for you. So we will see you at the top. God bless you. Until next time.
We here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. R.C. and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by R.C. Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by R.C. You may find all books written by R.C. and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.
My queen, my queen. Oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel. So strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall, a champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do, yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue, yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she is sophisticated,